The next Tempest Trials Plus, called Heating Things Up, is out right now, and it's here to go along with our Hot Springs banner. For completing the maximum 50,000 points, you get the standard 42 orbs, 11,000 feathers, and 80 sacred coins. The blessing for this round is a water blessing. We have some juicy sacred seals lined up this time, and they are Fire Boost, Even Defense Wave, and Brazen Atk Defense. As for our Tempest Trials reward unit, we have Hot Springs Camilla, and you can get a 4-star and 5-star copy. With the 2nd anniversary coming up, you might want to hold on to those orbs you pick up. There's probably going to be a surprise Hero Fest banner, and there is of course the next Mythic Hero coming soon too. So we have some good sacred seals this time. First, let's talk about Fire Boost 3. This skill compares your unit's HP to the enemies at the start of combat. If your unit has 3 or more HP, then they will get +6 attack during combat. So the boost skills are pretty niche. You pretty much have to run them on really high HP units like Arden. For Arena, that's probably at least 50 HP, but you always want more. In PvE, the boost skills are utter garbage because the game likes to throw 60, 70, 80 plus HP units at you, and it's going to be very tough to compete with that. Now +6 attack is pretty powerful, and having that only for one battle might be all you need it for. The boost skills do work on both phases, but when your unit gets hurt, their value drops significantly because they may no longer work. I wouldn't recommend upgrading these unless you have a specific build in mind. Our second sacred seal is Even Defense Wave 3. On even numbered turns, grant +6 defense to adjacent allies and the unit too. I believe this is our first wave type skill that's been turned to a sacred seal, and that means we got a ton more of these coming in the future. The wave buffs are powerful in exchange for not being consistent like a regular Hone or Fortify buff. The ability to self-buff is a huge boon for these skills, and they are great for units who may end up split from the team a lot. Now, one application for wave buffs as sacred seals is pairing them with their other turn counterpart. For example, Hot Springs Ryoma comes with Odd Defense Wave, give him Even Defense Wave, and now he buffs himself and allies every turn with +6 defense. Maybe it's not the craziest thing when we have the Hone and Fortify Emblem team buffs, but still, the self-buffing part is an important aspect. Our last seal is Brazen Atk Defense 3. Now, I've greatly enjoyed Brazen Atk Res as a seal, and now with the defense version, I'm sure I'll be using it a lot as well. So if your unit is at less than 80% HP, they will get +7 attack and defense during combat. This is a huge boost of stats, and it's really a strong skill for units who need to fight multiple times. If you've given Alphonse one of his refined Vogue Vengers, then he can run triple Brazen Atk and defense skills. You can find the A-slot version on Ares, who can be obtained as a 4-star summon. As a sacred seal, these skills are amazing for all kinds of builds and synergize with skills like Vantage, Desperation, and more. If you understand how the Brazen skills work, then they are a great sacred seals to fully upgrade. Now for everyone's favorite Norian princess, we are getting a free Hot Springs Camilla. She is a flying colorless dagger unit, and while I would like to say that's a pretty rare unit type, everyone can get air for free. Camilla has 30 HP, 33 attack, 35 speed, 17 defense, and 20 resistance. Compared to air, she has more HP and defense, 1 extra point of attack, and then 2 less speed and 3 less resistance. Basically, they aren't super different. Decent attack and speed, low defense, and good resistance. Where they do differ a lot is their skills. Camilla's weapon is called the Ouch Pouch Plus. What a name. The Ouch Pouch is an inheritable dagger that grants -2 special cooldown on turn 1. This is the same effect as Hot Springs Ryoma's its Curtains Lance. It also comes with the standard -7 defense and res dagger debuff. -2 special cooldown is handy for that first special charge and first fight, but after that, this weapon isn't doing anything else. It's good for short battles and Tempest Trials since the -2 cooldown will proc every new battle. If you're going to be grinding points out with Camilla, she should be fun to use since she can get her next special ready. Speaking of specials, Camilla comes with Glimmer. It's a 2 cooldown special, so Ouch Pouch will recharge it every new battle, but I would say swap it out for Moonbow. Camilla doesn't have a ton of attack, which means she won't get as much out of Glimmer as she could with Moonbow for taking down tougher targets. As for her A skill, Camilla has attack and speed 2, which just grants a flat +2 attack and +2 speed. It's actually a very good flat stat boosting skill. You can't really go wrong with more of either of these. It's only been on 5-star exclusive units up until now, however it's also a sacred seal. I wouldn't say it's a very powerful A skill when compared to all the crazy ones we have out there, but the flat stat boosters are simple and can be very nice when you don't want to sacrifice premium skills. This can be a great substitute A skill for offensive healers who generally want more attack and speed, but are limited to very rare skills. Now for Camilla's final skill, she comes with Honed Fliers, and it's available at 4 stars. Now this is a very pleasant surprise. I would say that Honed Fliers is what makes Fire Emblem teams amazing. The +6 attack and speed is so vital to the mostly offensive nature of a lot of flying units and builds. While Gold Fliers is easily found on Paula, Honed Fliers has always been restricted to 5-star exclusive units. It's not necessary to have Honed Fliers if you want to run a Fire Emblem team, but my god does it help a lot. Not to mention you can stack the two together anyway. It goes so well with Brave weapons, Fire Sweep weapons, and of course Blade Tomes. If you aren't going to use Hot Springs Camilla, you should 100% use her to pass on Honed Fliers. Overall, I would say this Tempest Trials has mainly good things going for it regarding the rewards. For Fire Boost, I would say that it's not worth upgrading unless you have a specific plan to use it. In my opinion, the boost skills just aren't worth the hassle, especially when we have skills like Attack and Speed, Bond, and Sacred Seal slot as well. Our first wave buffing Sacred Seal is nice, and I think it's worthy of upgrading if you have extra coins lying around. As for Brazen Atk and Defense, I think it will be a much stronger seal to fully upgrade. The +7 attack and defense boost is a ton of stats, and there are multiple ways to play around the HP threshold. I really enjoy using Brazen Atk and Res as a seal, so this one is a no-brainer for me personally. Regarding Hot Springs Camilla, I'm going to say she is fine in terms of reward units. She's not awful by any means, but it's impossible to not compare her directly to Air, who everyone can get. Air also just has way more interesting skills. Her dagger gives her a nice attack and speed boost. She comes with Sparrow, Mystic Boost is pretty fun to use, and Sparkling Boost is also good with its ally heal that works on every turn. I would say this Camilla is an okay unit with some amazing fodder skills. I don't think Ouch Pouch will be extremely busted, but it can find a place on a team with Infantry Pulse and skills like Special Spiral. Unfortunately, Hot Springs Camilla won't be able to abuse either of those skills herself. For Attack and Speed 2, it's a very simple A skill, but it's still good for cheap investment. However, the real winner here is Honed Fliers. There are probably still day 1 players who may not even have this skill, and it just works so well on any flying team you have. The rarity of this emblem buff is absurd compared to the other classes. Having it on a free unit is extremely valuable, and you really should not miss out on at least saving it for later. That's all I have to say for this event. Go get those rewards, and I'll see you guys in the next video.